Admiral Zaxthul's tentacles writhed with barely contained amusement as he observed the human fleet through the viewport of his flagship. 12 vessels. 12. Against his armada of 300 warships, each one dwarfing the pathetic human craft by a factor of 10. "Signal the humans," he commanded, his voice a guttural rasp that echoed through the bridge. "Tell them they have one chance to surrender before we demonstrate why the hegemony rules the outer rim." The communications officer, a scaled Vorthak, hissed acknowledgement. Within moments, a response crackled through the speakers, a human voice, calm and measured. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force. We're here to negotiate the release of our colonists. Stand down your weapons, and we can discuss this peacefully." Laughter erupted across the bridge. Zaxthul's subordinates exchanged glances of disbelief. The audacity of these mammals never ceased to astound him. "Negotiate?" Zaxthul's voice dripped with contempt. "You bring a dozen toys against the might of the hegemony and speak of negotiation? Your species truly is as foolish as we've heard." "Size isn't everything, Admiral," came Chen's reply. "Last chance to reconsider." The line went dead. Zaxthul's amusement transformed into rage. No lesser species had ever dared speak to him with such insolence. He raised his primary appendage, ready to order the annihilation of the human fleet, when his tactical officer's alarm klaxon shrieked through the bridge. "Admiral, energy readings from the human vessels are impossible." "Explain." Zaxthul's voice was ice. "Sir, each ship is generating power equivalent to our entire dreadnought class. But that's not the strangest part." The officer's voice trembled. "They're channeling it into their weapon systems and the energy patterns. I've never seen anything like it." Before Zaxthul could respond, space itself seemed to fracture around the human ships. Brilliant tears in reality opened like hungry mouths, and from within emerged creatures of pure energy, beings that defied comprehension. They moved with impossible grace, phasing through the hegemony's shields as if they were mere suggestions. "What sorcery is this?" Zaxthul demanded. Captain Chen's voice returned to the comm channel, no longer diplomatic but carrying an edge of steel. "No sorcery, Admiral. Just human ingenuity. You see, while other species conquered through brute force, we learned to make friends, and some of our friends exist in dimensions you can't even perceive." The energy beings, the humans called them resonants, began their work. They didn't destroy the hegemony ships, instead they disabled them with surgical precision. Weapon systems simply stopped functioning. Engines died. Life support remained intact, but every instrument of war fell silent. "Impossible," Zaxthul whispered. "No species can control the resonance. They're myths. Legends." "Myths?" Chen's laugh was humorless. "We've been trading with them for 30 years, sharing music, art, poetry, things you've probably never heard of. Turns out beings of pure energy appreciate beauty more than conquest." One by one, Zaxthul's mighty fleet fell silent. 300 ships, each a testament to hegemony military might, reduced to floating hulks in a matter of minutes. Not a single shot had been fired by conventional weapons. "You want to know why size doesn't matter?" Chen continued as her small fleet moved through the disabled armada like sharks among sleeping whales. "Because humans learned something you never did. The universe is vast and full of wonders. While you were building bigger guns, we were making friends with living stars. While you were conquering planets, we were learning songs that could reshape reality. You thought strength meant the biggest ship or the largest army. A human transport materialized directly on Zaxthul's bridge. Not teleported, but phase-shifted by resonant technology." Captain Chen stepped out, flanked by 2 Marines, her uniform crisp despite having just orchestrated the defeat of an entire fleet. "For humans," she said, meeting Zaxthul's shocked gaze, "strength means having allies who would cross dimensional barriers to help you. It means earning loyalty instead of demanding it. It means understanding that in a universe full of impossible wonders, the most powerful weapon isn't a gun, it's trust." She gestured to the disabled fleet visible through the viewport. "Your ships will be restored to functionality in 6 hours. Long enough for you to collect our people and leave this system. If we ever see hegemony forces threatening human colonies, again we won't be so gentle." Zaxthul found his voice, though it cracked with disbelief. "How? How did your species achieve this?" Chen smiled, and for a moment, her expression carried infinite sadness. "We learned the hard way, Admiral. Our own history is written in blood and conquest. But we grew beyond that. We chose to build bridges instead of walls, to seek understanding instead of dominance. The resonants aren't our weapons, they're our friends. And friends help friends." As the human transport faded from the bridge, Zaxthul stared at his crippled fleet and realized that everything the hegemony understood about power was obsolete. The humans hadn't won through superior firepower or larger ships. They had won through something far more dangerous to tyrants. They had won through unity with forces beyond conventional understanding. In the depths of space, 12 small human vessels waited patiently as 300 massive hegemony warships sat silent and humbled. And in that moment, the balance of power in the galaxy shifted, not through conquest, but through the simple, revolutionary act of choosing cooperation over domination. The age of the hegemony was ending. The age of true strength, the kind that came from hearts and minds united across species and dimensions, was just beginning.